Hello, you guys. So, I have another idea. I decided that this story never happened with Golden Waves. Instead, we're gonna have Sprout that happened in the story. He is the one who is part of this prank with Posey instead of Golden Waves. And I think it fits more because these two ponies did something bad, and um, they are both like think they're above everyone else, and they didn't like this type of friendship. It is perfect. If you guys had watched My Little Pony, you know what I'm talking about. So another different thing is that we're gonna, instead of real life death threats and all that, we're gonna have like death penalty death threats instead, because that's more appropriate than, because if I do that, I'll get this video taken down. What's gonna remain the same is the same characters, Rocky, Jazz, and Posey. And the lines are going to be the same. Alright, so in the story, Posey pretends to be sad. She goes inside, she comes into Maritime Bay. I mean, no, she's already in Maritime Bay. May Melody, I meant. She comes into May Melody, and sees Rocky and Jazz. And Posey is like, "Hey, Rocky, Jazz, I feel sad." And then Jazz was like, "Oh, are you sad, Posey?" And then Rocky's like, "Yeah, tell us why you feel sad." And so that's when Posey's like, "I'm sad that I don't have a stallion friend." And then Jazz is like, "Oh, we understand how you feel, Posey." And Rocky's like, "Yeah, I can relate to this." And so that's when Posey's like, "Oh, thanks, you two, for cheering me up, but that does not make me feel better." So then Rocky's like, "Is there anything else? Is there anything that we can make you feel better? Like, get you a stallion friend?" And then Posey's like, "Oh, no thanks. I'll go find one myself. Maybe I will get one the next day." And so she leaves. And then Jazz and Rocky is like, "Okay, bye, see ya." So that's when that night, like evening, like afternoon, evening, or night, she calls Sprout. Sprout's on the phone saying, "Hello?" And then that's when Posey said, "Hey, Sprout, I have a job for you to do." And then Sprout says, "What's the job?" And then Posey said, "I need you to come to my house tomorrow morning, and you're going to lock yourself. You're going to lock the door in my bedroom, and when I tell you to come on out, you're going to come out, and you're going to show Rocky and Jazz that you are the one that's actually my pretend stallion friend. We're going to prank Rocky and Jazz to make them think we are mare friend and stallion friend." And that's when Sprout had this idea, like, he thought this was interesting. He hates Rocky because of his behavior. He doesn't like how he talks. It's not that Rocky's mean, he just doesn't like how he talks. But then that's when Sprout's like, "Oh, fuck yeah, let's do this. I just want to prank the fuck out of Rocky. I do not like his savage behavior." Or, sorry, let me say it better. "Oh, fuck yeah, hell yeah, let's do this. I just want to prank the fuck out of Rocky. I do not like his savage behavior." And so then Posey's like, "Okay, well, go ahead and do what I tell you to do tomorrow morning, and I'll see you later." And then he's like, "Okay, bye." And she's like, "All right, bye." So then the next morning, he does what she tells him to do, and then that's when she goes into Maritime Bay. Goes back to May Melody. And she says to Rocky and Jazz, "Hey, Rocky, Jazz, I have some good news. I have a stallion friend." And then Jazz is like, "Oh my god, that's so sweet, Posey. I'm so proud of you." And Rocky's like, "Who is your stallion friend?" And so Jazz is like, "Come with me. I'll show you ponies." come to my house. He's in my bedroom. So they go to her house. And she says, come on out. He opens the door, and it's Sprout. And then that's when Rocky's like, no fucking way. And then that's when Jazz is like, oh, Sprout is your new stallion friend? And then Posey's like, yes. We met each other last night. We had a date, etc., etc. We got laid last night. We were just talking. It was a coincidence, isn't it? And then Jazz is like, a huge coincidence. And Rocky's like, I see these two are so perfect for each other. Because they both did something wrong, got the consequences. I'm pretty sure they both feel bad for each other over getting the consequences and getting caught, rather than the morals of what's right and what's wrong. Sprout and Posey didn't like it. And so Sprout's like, hey, you need to watch it, Rocky Riff. Because now that we are a new couple, you better listen to our rules. And this is our house. And we will be above you two. We have authority. And Jazz is like, you ponies do not have authority over us. You're not hired for this. And then so Posey's like, sure we do. What I'm going to do is I am going to be hired by some pony to main Melody just so I can have the job to fire you ponies. Even though there's no good reason to. I still will have power to do so. And I will control the whole main Melody. And Sprout said, and then once we kidnap Hitch, we will tie him up to somewhere far away where no pony can find him. And then I'll take his badge and I'll become the new sheriff of Maritime Bay instead of the deputy, like I was like when I worked with Hitch last time. And so they're like, no, you can't do this. We will report to Hitch's friends about what you two are going to do. And they're like, and then the new couple was like, you can't stop us. We're better than you two. Jazz, you have no... And Posey's like, Jazz, you're weaker than us Earth Ponies, because you barely had done these Earth Pony vines. You barely used any of your magic. You're nothing like us. And Jazz is like, oh, we'll see. And then Sprout's like, well, I don't think you should fight anyway, because it's two Earth Ponies against two different species. Oh, I have an idea. We can have two Earth Ponies against one. And that way, we're definitely going to win and beat you, Jazz. And Jazz is like, yeah, we'll see about that. I'm pretty sure I'm probably more, ironically, stronger than you, Sprout. And Sprout's like, oh yeah, well, that doesn't defeat my future power when I can have you arrested for that and become the new sheriff of Maritime Bay. And also, Posey is like this. Yeah, and also, you got to respect our rules and respect us. And then Rocky's like, why should we, Posey? You and Sprout never do. And then Sprout's like, oh, Posey, say something back to him. Posey says something to Rocky like this. You are going to listen to us, and you're going to respect our rules, whether you like it or not, Rocky Riff. So take your mare friend and get out of our house. Go on, get out. And so she kicks them out. She's like, they're like, ah, ah. And then Rocky's like, all right, you're not going to mess with me. I'm going to start fighting you guys. And then, and Posey's like, yeah, you go ahead and do that. I'm sorry, the next funny thing, I'm trying to laugh because the next thing is funny of what Sprout says to Rocky. He's like, what the fuck are you gonna do, Pegasus? This is an Earth Pony fight. And so that's when Rocky's like, tries to charge at Sprout. And so that's when Jazz is like, hey, no, stop. All right, no pony is going to fight. And Posey's like, no, get him out of the way. Get out of the way, Jazz. He said he wants to fight my man. And then Sprout's like, yeah, go ahead. Go on, get ready. You are so weak, Pegasus. You have nothing. You may have magical flying powers, but that is not count as attack magic powers. Like mine. I will take my vines and I'll slam you down. Oh yeah, and also, when we capture you, we will sentence you both to death. And so that's when they were like, okay, that's a threat. Rocky, don't let them win over you. That's a threat. We will report them, okay? And Rocky's like, not after I start fighting. And then Sprout's like, yeah, go ahead and try and do that. I am more stronger than you, and we will use our bare hoofs to fight as well. And while that's going on, that's when Jazz is like, no, nobody's fighting, stop. Alright, we don't want to do this all day. And so that's when Posey in the back, like, you know, she's like, you know, like, the referee at the wrestling match. She's start, like, coaching and, like, in the back, like, she's behind Rocky, and, behind Sprout, and she tells Rocky to fight. She's like, yeah, go ahead and fight my boyfriend, alright? Yeah, step it, Rocky, come on, Rocky, come on, step it, come on, Rocky, get to step it, Rocky, get to step it. And then Jazz is like, alright, stop, that's enough. Alright, and Sprout's like, you know what? We don't have time for this, okay? We're gonna do our evil plans now. And we're gonna do what we had told you, ponies, that what we're gonna do. And after that, we are going to Zephyr Heights and start dating. And have all the rich food. And then Posey's like, yeah, I like that. And so that's what they decide to do. Sorry, I'm kind of pausing because, you know, I've been jumping around, I gotta calm down. So Posey's like, yeah, there's nothing you can do to stop us. Oh yeah, and another thing. If you report to Hitch's friends, we'll do the same thing to them. We will capture them, probably sentence them to life, or have them put on death row. And then Jazz is like, no, you can't do this. That will make you ponies tyrants. And then Posey's like, oh, we will do it. And then Rocky's like, yes, I can definitely see why these two are so together. I can see why these two are so together. They're so they are even more perfect. And they're not making threats. They're way worse than what they used to do when they were evil. Something like that. And then that's when Sprout says something that really roasted Rocky. She looked at Posey and says, you know, he said this to Posey. You know, Posey, Rocky has many mares for him to date, and the best one he picked has a... No. Actually, no. He said to Posey like this. You know, Posey, Jazz has many stallions for her to choose, and the best stallion she dated has a scar in his eyebrow and a mole on his cheek. And then that's when Rocky's like, oh, excuse me? This is a notch, and this is a beauty mark? So with that roasting, Rocky was quiet. He just didn't want to talk to Sprout anymore. And Jazz is like, don't you dare talk to my stallion friend like that. What has he ever done to you ponies? And Sprout's like saying, He's done something to us mentally with his behavior. And so and so Posey's like, come on, let's do what we told him to do. And so Jazz is like, all right, come on, Rocky, we're going to report them that what they're going to do. So that's when so while they're leaving, this fake couple was like, yeah, go ahead and try to do that. I can't believe they believe this shit. You dumbasses, like something like that. Or you dumb flanks. And so Jazz is like, wait, what is going on? And then Posey said, we just pranked your flanks. And then Sprout's like, do you think that we're actually together? And Posey's like, no, we hate each other. And Sprout's like, we can't even stand each other. And then Posey's like saying, but the only thing we liked doing was that we pranked you both. And we just did. And so that's when Sprout was like, oh, Rocky, you got your feelings hurt because of this thing that wasn't real. Oh, poor Rocky. And Posey's like, oh, poor Rocky. Oh, you sad. And then Rocky just had this straight face, like he just hated what they did. He couldn't. He probably is going to prank them back, but I'm not going to do that. It's going to happen off screen. So that's when Jazz was like, so are you two ponies are going to one day be together or no? Then that's when Sprout and Posey both looked at each other, and then Posey said to Jazz, you decide, you think about it. And then they start going inside, and Sprout's like, yeah, and while we think on that, we are going to watch TV. And then Posey said, and eat snacks. So that's when Jazz is like, all right, Rocky, we don't need to report to anyone. It's just a prank. We just gotta go. Come on. And then Posey came back to them. She came out of the house, and she used her vine, and she grabbed Jazz, and she threw her out, and Jazz was like, ah! She was in the air, and Rocky's like, no, Jazz, I'll get you. He flies over there to try to get her, and he caught her thanks to him flying, because he's a Pegasus. And so, Sprout was like, and then Sprout said to Jazz, you actually did that on hold on, let me start all over again. He said, you actually did it on, sorry, you actually did that on purpose, hoof five. And so they hoof five. Posey and Sprout did that. And so, I'm sorry that that I was stuttering and had to go back a little bit of the lines. But at least I still mostly did it. I tried. It mostly worked. And so, I hope you guys liked this story. And I have, decided, not to do, the next story, today because I'm getting tired from doing this. But I will make it and upload it on, I guess Monday. But I will upload this video today. So anyways. Oh yeah, also, this story is not canon to the original Gen 5 universe. And when they said death penalty, they're going to hang them with their Earth Pony vines, sentence them to hanging. But, yeah, so anyways. That is it for this video. And bye!